Oh, okay. Hi guys. So this is gonna be like a 3 in the morning stream. Um, cause I can't go back to sleep, and I tried for the past like 30 minutes. So instead, I've given up. Um, and if I just sleep periodically throughout the day, I will take that as a win. So I don't really care. But yeah, if you're wondering, that is actually why. And I'm really tired, but I have not been able to sleep because I've just been in pain physically, um, due to like cramps and stuff. But I'm making an appointment later today with my doctor so I can get medicine or go on birth control or just something that will help with the insane pain. But for right now, I am just gonna stream and kind of talk. I probably will. I'm sorry if I emotionally neglect you guys in my stream. Um, I'm just kind of listening to rain ASMR in the background while I'm drawing. Um, so this is gonna be a very low key stream today. We're not gonna be doing anything high momentum or anything. I'm just gonna be kind of yapping about like special interests and just random facts and stuff tonight. Um, while I work on these art fight entries, and I'll also talk about the characters that I'm drawing today. So we'll start off with the first one here. Um, I I'm not gonna lie, bro. When I do art fight and when I talk, I'm just gonna talk about art fight and events and stuff like that. So I'm gonna start with the character that I'm drawing right here, which is actually one of my designs, and I'll show you guys the design here on my thing. Um, and this is a drawing I believe I made. You can tell it's old because there's like the old pen style and stuff. This is before I discovered marker brush. I can definitely tell like how much my style has definitely changed since I've made that design. Um, but it's still definitely these designs definitely still hold a very special place in my heart. And whenever I get the chance to rebase or redraw these designs, I will jump for joy and I will I will definitely go and do that. So this is a revenge for a user, and if I have the time, I will speed run my way over to art fight so I can show you guys. Um I believe the artist is Wolf Shipper. I'm trying to see what they did a drawing of my OC Mini, and I'm trying to find the drawing so I can show you guys on stream here. Yo, Jesse, why are you awake? Why are you awake, Jesse? Also, I would talk with you on call, but my roommates are asleep. My suite mates is asleep, so it's just gonna be me tonight with y'all. Also, here's the drawing. I'm zooming in so you get to see a lovely drawing from the Wolf Shipper. I hope I'm saying the username right. And here is my process so far. So um, this is the original character design, and this is my redraw of that character design that I made like forever ago. So I hope they really enjoy this. I always try to. I'm kind of being really picky, choosy with what characters I draw this art fight. Just because like I have been working over like 40 hours um when it comes to my job, so I just don't have a lot of time. It's very little time I do have. I honestly just kind of want to draw my own OCs. But with art fight, I love doing art fight. It's one of my favorite events, And hold on, let me see if Jesse say anything. I shouldn't be awake, but that's okay. I'm happy now. That's fair. I'm happy for you. I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday it was so stressful for me. I'm not gonna get into it in the stream because I'm gonna try and be a little mellow. And it's not trauma dump stream. It is art fight stream. So, um, and I know you know I've been going through a lot of it, but I reached out to one of my family members and stuff, um, and I'm just trying to rebuild like a familiar relationship with them. So that's what I'm trying to do right now, and I think a lot of my issues stem from the stress of my family, and feeling like I'm miscommunicating with them my wants and needs, um, and it's and I think I'm struggling with myself career wise because I'm struggling to communicate my wants and needs with my family members. So I'm actively trying to find better ways to communicate with them, but as well as get myself help. I already know things that I have to do. I am very highly aware of my issues and my problems. And a lot of times I struggle to initiate um, doing tasks in the first place. That's one of the biggest things that I know I have struggle points with, and why I have to seek. It's not I don't that I choose to that I but I also know I need um, certain accommodations such as like therapy, or maybe like someone to help with like my neurodivergence, thinking, and how I approach tasking. So, but anyways, oh no, I did this on the wrong side, didn't I? Oh smokes. Okay, we're gonna go on this side. I drew the markings and the accessories on the wrong side. That's okay. We live and we learn, so it's okay. I'm learning this now, even though I designed this character like forever ago. But yeah. So I guess going back to art fight, um, I I think this year, as much as I know it feels a little disappointing not to get like, I think for a lot of people, I've been seeing a lot of people who are talking about not getting a lot of art fight attacks and stuff, and just kind of feeling a little disappointed. Don't get me wrong, I feel that a little bit, but at the same time, I also am very heavily aware that I curated my space a lot this year because I just didn't want to disappoint people if they expect me to draw their character and I'm not able to because I am very busy with work. Um, a little thing about line spacing thing in these live chats, but that's okay. I can't. I forgot I can't like do the thing with the line spacing with these live chats, but that's okay. I understand. Yeah, live chat is weird. Also I'm not really keeping my eye on chat this much because I'm just gonna be like rambling today. And also it's 3 in the morning. I really should be going to bed, but I actually woke up. I went to bed around like, let's say 12 or something. Um I just was I think I'm just really I'm not I've been struggling with sleep because of abnormal eating habits and just my health in general, and it's really hard. Like I know I probably need like a melatonin or something at this point, because it's probably because my body isn't making enough natural melatonin where oh I'm struggling to where I'm able to get enough like the whatever the chemical is that you need to sleep. Because fun fact, when you are on your period, your body actually will make less of that, or your hormones will actually affect how you sleep. And especially if you're stressed, there's another add on to that too. So, um, but aside from that, that's another reason why I guess I'm awake is because of that. But I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna be awake, I might as well like do some art fight attacks and stuff. So, and revenges. So this is technically a revenge. I have after this, I'm going to be working on an attack that I was planning to do on one of my IRLs. Cause I convinced her to join art fight, and I have yet to draw her OC. And I haven't told her anything about what I've been planning, but I'm gonna show you guys what I've been working on. And that is probably gonna be the bulk of this stream. And I know she doesn't watch my live streams, so I know I'm very safe that she's not going to be spoiling herself of what I am going to draw for her. So, um, so we're gonna try and be quick with this one here, just so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. And I know it's just you, Jesse. Like low key, I think it's just you in the call, and the not in the call. I meant the stream. Slay and Real, but you know what? You're the number one fan, umphy wumphy. Unless other people join who are awake at 3 in the morning, or just time zone difference, because there are people who are probably, I'd say this is probably like their middle of the day, while this is like our nighttime or something. So, trying to think. Yeah, screaming. So I guess back to art fight. I know you're like my one audience, and I don't think you're on art fight or do plan to be on art fight. But it feels like a lot, and I think art fight's really fun where you're not on Twitter constantly, in my opinion. It makes it a lot easier to enjoy art fight, and I'm going to drink some of my Fanta right now. Normally my voice is going to be pretty low. Like I said, I'm going to try to keep my voice fairly low just because it is 3 in the morning. So, but I do want to try and get better at just doing streams and stuff like that, and just kind of being consistent. Like today is actually my off day though, thankfully, and I'm very excited to do nothing except for when I have to go to the grocery store. But it's supposed to be very, very hot today, and I am not excited about that, on the other hand. Does not. I'm checking my notifications on both of my social medias right now, where, oh, I didn't ping Froggy Streams on this. Hold on. Okay, there you go. Let's see if anyone else is awake at this time. No, probably not. But it'd be funny. It would be funny. It would be funny. Checking my art fight. We're also going to be checking out everybody on art fight. I do have an interest in art fight. I'm just bad at getting started on things, and sometimes that's so fair. I do think you would enjoy it. Even if you don't join this year, you can always join next year, you know? I kind of low-key just use the same references. Like, I only was really motivated to make new references for some characters just because, for commission sake. I don't really do it because of art fight sake. But it is a good motivator for a lot of people to get your references out and stuff, and I think it is it's a good thing to prep for. And even if you join late, that's okay too. I really, because there are people who will literally draw your OC if you upload it right to the website during the event. And I've seen it happen. It's happened to me with some of my OCs that I've just said, fuck it, I'm just gonna upload them like today. So you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. And if you do join, I will definitely be drawing your OCs. I don't really care what team you're on, even if you're on the same team. So, I used to really care about, like, okay, one of the weird things about IRFI, I used to really care about what which team people were on, because I would always try to attack people on the opposite team. It didn't even matter if the person was my friend or not. I would not attack them or draw their art if they draw them art if they were not on a different team, opposite team of mine. So, but I think since it was maybe 2024, I kind of gave up. I said, "Yeah, I'll do whatever. I'll do friendly fire and stuff," is what we call it. And you know what? I've been happier. It's made me happier actually. Now that I do that. It's just more because it's like, it's whatever. There's no expectations for me. Do what you want to do, and I'm having a lot more fun with art fight, and I'm actually drawing a lot more, and I'm gonna say this too. I've probably one of the things I think for art fight though, for me is I'm very big on drawing for other people, rather waiting for people to draw my characters and then revenging. Um, it's it's a lot more freeing for me because I get to control um which characters I draw in return, which characters I want to draw, um and such. And don't get me wrong, I still respond to revenges and stuff. This year I'm just not responding to every single one of them. Like, if you don't have a character design, I'm not really interested in drawing. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be drawing a revenge, but I will still be paying it forward and attacking another artist. And it's and I am looking and considering things like if the artist is a beginner or if they have any attacks in the first place. If they have like 0 and they just joined, I'll most likely draw their character even if I do or don't like any of their characters, because I still want to be nice about it. But if they still have, like, they get some attacks, I'm like, all right, they'll survive. So um but I right now I'm really kind of not really drawing humanoid characters, just because, like, humans kind of burn me out when I draw them for some reason. Um, I'm not really sure why. Like, I normally typically really enjoy drawing people, but it's a lot more freeing for me to draw like anthropomorphic animals or creatures and stuff compared to humans for me. Um, so, like, just like this example right now where I'm just drawing like a celestial goat creature. I don't remember what my thought process was when I was designing designing this character when I was making the adoptable. But I guess I could ask my younger self, like, what the uh what the fucking Paris, what the fucking shit is this, or something. The that one, like, video where that guy's um like, what is this, and then it'll be like, I think it's like the AI voices that's like, um uh where it just has unnecessary swearing, but it's like really educational in a weird way. But anyways, I don't know what I'm trying to reference. I'm trying to reference something. So, okay, I might join next year if I remember to the age. My references get outdated every 2 months. Oh, so fair. I don't blame you. I thought about adding my Steven Universe OC, but I was like, actually, I just want art of my, like, of my Pokemon and my SilkSong OC right now, so I'm not gonna add any unnecessary OCs unless I want people to draw them. It's mostly like I have a lot of OCs this year that are just kind of hard to draw, and I'm not expecting anyone to draw them. Like, I don't care. Like, do what you can do and want to do, is what I say to people. Like, don't feel obligated that you have to draw any of my characters or this or that. Cause like art fight should be fun. Like it should just be like a low stress kind of thing. Um, I had to pause like all my commissions and all my adoptable stuff for art fight, just because I know this is gonna take up a bulk of my month. If For a lot of my stuff. So I love but don't get me wrong, I love going all on out for art fight. I think it's funny how I'll literally be like, I'll complain about like not doing enough, even though I'll do like let's say like 20 attacks or something. I think my battle ratio right now is actually insane. I think I do almost have 20 attacks, ironically enough, that I know I'm joking, but I think I almost have that many. Um so I kind of got excited of seeing her again. Little Lappy. Little Lappy is so silly. It's actually funny because that's the name of my computer. I named her off of Little Lapis. And so my computer is now forever named Little Lappy, and it's tied to my Microsoft account. But yeah. So let's see. We're going to draw. I actually don't know what the inspiration was for this character design. And when I thought, I'm not the biggest fan of these colors that I used here for the design, but I like the shape language that I used for this design. So, you know what? Something works out, I guess. Let's see. Oh, I used a gradient. I'm gonna choke myself, actually. Why did I ever think that was a good idea? You guys know I'm Gradient's biggest #1 hater. I actually am really surprised no one has made an art piece of like Froggy or like any of my characters that are just like, I hate gradients. Like gradients in artwork. Or like shaded references and stuff. I'm shaded references #1 op, guys. So I am #1 hater of gradients and shaded references. Is it a skill issue? You know what? Maybe it is, bro. Whatever. But at the same time, who cares? Reserving my peace. But I do have a few more characters that I have on my friends list that I want to draw for my hit list, but we're going to try and outdraw. I'm gonna finish my drawing that I meant to do for my friend, my IRL friend, and then we'll start doing the Pokemon hit list that I have on my toy house, where I ask people to send their Pokemon OCs. So, we'll see how that turns out. Also, my stomach is very grumbly. I don't have enough food in my apartment to suffice. So, I will have to go to the store. Unfortunately, I am starving, guys, because I barely ate. And I have a muffin in my backpack, I believe, so I will be eating that when I remember. And I just kind of, okay, so I do gradients usually because I don't feel like it. More so because I learned not to use them through fursuit friendliness design tutorials when I learned when I was younger, and it kind of translated into most of my designs. That's so fair, Jesse. For me, it's kind of more based on animation principles that I've learned. When I started out as an artist, I always wanted to be I wanted to be like an animator. I no longer want to be an animator, which I think is funny, and ironic. But yeah, no, I learned a lot of my design principles based on the principles of animation and how you design characters for animation. So how I design characters now are things like very little to no gradients in the design, just so it can be animator friendly. And another thing is keeping things more simplistic in nature. I think only more recently, as I started becoming an adoptable artist, I kind of know more, or like more detailed is better, and what catches people's eyes. However, once again, kind of coming back to that design principle, as like an animator, it's more simplistic designs. You don't often see them do that well in the furry adoptable close species community. But don't get me wrong, it's not saying like they don't always do well, because there are definitely some artists who can do them and make these designs very well. So I am going to give this character a shirt. They're wearing a mask, and their hair, drawing their hair, I say, as I'm struggling. Okay, and for their horns, what I'm going to do is we're going to technically draw the gradient, but we're also not going to draw the gradient. We're going to be cheesing this, because I don't like drawing gradients. But I like to manually color the gradient in, because I think it gives it a more visual distinction. Like, it kind of gives it more interesting look to it. So we're gonna do that. Yes. I know I have this one Chinese song stuck in my head. I can't sing it though, because I feel like I'm gonna be chanting demons because I can't speak Chinese. But oh my god, it's a beautiful song. It is a beautiful, beautiful song. But I'll have to show you guys later. In my personal Booning Discord server. Coloring gradients are fun, to be honest. That's fair, yeah. I started wanting to do an animated lead project instead of just wanting to be an animator. No, that's so real. Do a store. Yeah. Real, man, real. I like to manually color in gradients recently, because it's more work, but it pays off a lot better when it comes to like visual distinction and stuff, in my opinion. And I mean, to be fair, a lot of my work is very much, how do I say this? It is very, very flat colored centered. So it definitely helps with my stuff. So, and I think we'll give the character a little bit of, highlights in the hair. No. Me when I mess up coloring the whole entire thing. I won't lie. I almost I think I crashed out at work. Not at a guest or anything, but I was so over it yesterday, of my pain, of my mental fatigue, and just a lot of things. I was telling my leaders and coordinators that I was like in a lot of pain, so I couldn't go long distances or be stuck kind of like in the heat for too long, or I would probably faint, because I needed to drink a lot of water. But for about an hour, I was placed all alone, unsupervised, basically, in this building that was, the fan barely even helped, and it was so hot, And also I needed to go to the bathroom bad, so I was like waiting. I got bumped from I one of my coworkers came to like replace me, and oh my gosh, I had this guest who was, I think at first he was concerned because he thought I was like really upset or something looked broken, etc. Because I was looking at the work phone to see if they approved my bathroom break request. I was fine. I just have a very serious look. I have RBF, so people get worried, and I've had people say I look and sound mad with my natural resting face, and it makes me really upset because I don't think I look mad. I just have like my face just like this, I guess. And sometimes uh, I won't lie though, like sometimes it is microaggressions from like white men where they're just like, you look angry, and I'm like, no, trust, I'm not angry. I'm just like, I just look like that because like autism. but but I think often um women or femmies of color often get like kind of, how do I say, like coined like as like looking angry or this or that, or their resting face, like they're like not friendly. And I think a lot of it has to do with like people's racial biases and stuff. So people often will think people like me, or especially like black women, or like I think black women especially get it really bad, but like because of misogyny. but um but I think I think of that sometimes when I'm at work. But at the time, I really wasn't thinking because I was in so much pain, and I was like, I'm in pain. I need to go to the bathroom, um, and I needed to take my medicine. So I was just like really trying to get my at the time, I guess, like my manager's attention so I can go to the bathroom. I can't leave a place unattended, and I was waiting until they had the people transfer over uh to the for their closing positions and stuff. Um so and there's a whole system. I'll have to go into it later, um of like how it works out. But I'll pretty much reveal in a later video that I work or I guess when I put out the video it's going to be like I worked at the Walt Disney parks. But anyways, um so I'm going to go through the chat to see what you're saying. Yay, demons! Ah! Sorry, exorcism. Yeah, you're put through a lot of pain. I don't really think you look mad, to be honest, but I tend to read people through their words and their voice and tone of language in general. Not gonna lie, I never noticed that sort of RBF bias till you pointed it out, and that might be a good thing. Yes, it's something I'm highly like overly aware of. I think I became very aware of this back in like um 2021. Yeah, it's when I first got my first job. It was back in 2021. It was, or 2020. Either or, I know I remember I got a job, and guys, I got a job. I'm sorry, I got a job, but I remember I was talking with one of my coworkers, and she, for context, she's black, and she was mentioning that to me, and I was like, oh my goodness, I like never thought of that. So I like would catch myself, even myself, with racial biases against like specific like black women, especially when it comes to people who think like, they're angry or this or that, when no, they're just like face resting RBF and stuff. But I try to not assume the worst, especially for women. Like women and femmies have it very, very hard already. And I think a lot of people like project and attribute on negative traits to women a lot, and femmies. They're overly criticized in online and also in person. So it's just kind of something I think of. Like so like I have an example. I have like head manager, not and like a lead manager for the day, but like manager of like the restaurant that I work at. Um, I give a lot more grace towards my like fem leader head managers instead, compared to like my male managers, if that makes sense. And the reason why is just, once again, it's just that biased when it comes to against women, and sexism that we naturally have, that will have us be like, oh my god, women are these women are horrid or something like that. um and I always kind of think of it, are they actually like horrible, or is it just us being like, oh, they're just like really really dog water? Because we magnify like what women do under a magnifying glass. Like, women get overly criticized, women and femmies. But meanwhile, on the other hand, we don't give enough we don't give enough shit to like men, in my opinion. So like, I am always constantly dogging on this one like manager I have that I do not like. And it's just cuz it's like he's he's something else, and I'll have to talk about it later when I'm like no longer working at this job. um and obviously I'm going to be keeping names anonymous when I talk about it. So um but I think of that as a specific case of it too, where I have coworkers who I talk to um who kind of have like overly mean things to say about like the woman like manager, but will be like, this guy is bad, but he's just not as bad as her. And I'm like, no, he's worse in my opinion. She is not as bad as him. And it's weird. It's weird. Also, oh my goodness, another thing is just, they're so they're the men are weird. I Oh my god, the men are so weird, guys. I've met so many weird guys at my workplace, and I will have to talk about that after my program ends, when I'm no longer working for the company. I just don't want to talk about anyone currently, as I'm still working for the company until August 6th. So, but I will be making a full video about that later, and I will actually be like doing editing and everything. And hopefully maybe that will get me back into doing YouTube and stuff, which would be nice. I really hope so. I know a lot of people, there are already videos out there that talk about the program and stuff, the Disney College program, but I really want to go in depth with my experience, because there's the good and the bad. And in my personal opinion, for people who really don't love Disney, I would still recommend it. But if you're not really the hardcore Disney enjoyer, I don't really recommend it. I love Disney, and I don't regret coming and doing this program. So there's a lot to say with that. Okay, so let me see what you said. Jorb. I just don't think of RPF. I just focus way more on person's tone of voice and how they wear things. Sexism is icky. Bigotry is stuff. You smell stuff everywhere you walk. Check under your shoe. Quote. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's real. So there's a lot when it comes to my workplace. But I don't know. What was I going to talk about? Art fight. Yay! We're gonna go back to art fight. I derailed this about my work. I do love. Don't get me wrong, y'all. Like, I love my coworker. My coworkers are actually fantastic. I love my coworkers. But I feel like this is everywhere I go. I have like great coworkers wherever I go. But this is the first time I think I've made friends with my coworkers, and I actually go and hang out with them on a regular basis, and I feel like I actually connect with people. coworker wise, I guess. But I mean, I feel like I've always find like my fair share of black sheep in places too. But in my previous job, I didn't really hang out with anybody. But to be fair, I didn't feel like I was there long enough to be able to hang out with people. Compared to here, where it's like I started the program with some people, and I'd hang out with them. So that's kind of, I guess, a different case of that. Um, and so like while here it's like I would train with some people who I trained with, and I'd go hang out with them, or I'd hang out with other people who are part of the program. And a lot of people are around like their early 20s to like mid to like 30s. So like that's kind of how it is finding people at the program that I'm in. And so I have a lot of people who are kind of around the same boat and situation as me. And I'm really it kind of comforts me in a weird way that I know other people are in the same boat as me, trying to find a job or doing this as kind of a temporary solution to the dog water economy that we have right now. Um, I I obviously don't want to live with my parents for forever, and I am going to try my darnest to be able to save enough money. So right now I really just want to save money and and just kind of work hard to like get stuff for my own place with my partner for when he's able to like move out. I know that's kind of like putting my eggs in a basket right now, and I know I could move out when I want, but it's more so because I would like somebody in my life who I feel like I personally trust to also live with me. I don't need somebody to like I don't need to financially rely on somebody like him. That's not why I'm waiting for him. But a little bit is because we're a dog water economy. Dual income is better than than one income, and nowadays, but and I don't mind doing more work because technically right now I'm doing a full-time job with like a secondary job. I know a lot of people say my design work is side gig. This is my main job technically, but I'm putting my main job on hold to do my side gig, which is the full-time job that I have at Disney. So that's kind of how I see it. I think a lot of people put down a lot of their work, especially like their love, like their dream work. I think we as a society often, in weird way, kind of discourage people to just jump into what they love, and there's this weird like elitism of like you have to learn more, you have to do this and that to get to where you want to be instead of just letting people just figure out how to do the reins. I think with YouTube and the internet, it's made it far more easier and more accessible for people, especially disabled people, I think too, to achieve certain goals and like things like entrepreneurship or businesses or putting your work out there. And I think that's kind of one of the things that I think about when it comes to like trying to think while I like draw highlights. I'm like, these highlights are very pretty, but I was gonna say like the internet has made it a lot far more accessible for people to be able to like reach certain goals that they may have not been able to just through climbing the corporate ladder originally. And that's kind of something that I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of just kind of making it my own, making my own path instead of like taking a typical path that may be just far more challenging than should be for me as a um uh, and I'm not saying like my identity is maybe why it might be really hard, but I had an interesting conversation with my dad when I was in college, and I showed him my portfolio, my website for the internet and stuff, and it says in my bio that I'm an Asian American adoptee who's autistic um and also a gender fluid bisexual person. And my dad's like, that makes you look like you're a narcissist. Companies won't want to hire you. And I said, why wouldn't they want to hire me based on my identity? And I had such an interesting conversation about that with my dad, because I it just made me upset that like in a business way, that you would look at somebody of who they are and think, wow, they're selfish for putting their identity on their profile. I can't believe we're making our intersectionality uh something that's now, I guess, I'm not gonna say political or like I guess controversial. I guess it's a little, it's just too much for people to handle, that I'm Asian, that I'm an adopted person, and that that's I'm like also a part of the LGBT community, which definitely influences my design and my work philosophy. But I just thought that's really weird. I still won't back down. I'm keeping it on my profile because that just shows you like who I am as an artist and designer, that I come from a very unique position and I have a very unique perspective as an artist. Um and that's what I have to bring to the table. But, it's to see someone's identity as selfish just is really weird to me. But this is a conversation I had like um forever ago. When it was maybe, I would say maybe a few years ago, when I was still in college, and this was definitely a interesting conversation that I had. Sorry, I'm going to read through what you said. Okay. It makes me upset how shitty dudes are. I'm like, cause I'm a dude. I'm so sorry, man. That sucks. Obviously, when we say we hate all men, we're not talking about like the slave men, bro. We're talking about like the certain man. My cat's startling on me and sighing to sleep. I think that's my sign to sleep. I'm enjoying and listening. You think you can do great things and are doing think great things. Huh. Thank you, Jesse. I do agree with you. The whole thing is weird elitism with businesses and skills. Yeah, I think that's like a whole thing. Also, because of like women and femmies have notoriously been like blocked out, and especially like queer and disabled people from certain industries, just because like they're not like, oh, you're not good enough or this or that, or you know what, one of the biggest things is women not being able to advocate for themselves because they are socialized to not advocate for themselves in workplaces. And that's another thing that I think about. I have unfortunately deeply ingrained the social ingrainedness in my stupid little brain. So I'm just like, you know what? We're just gonna avoid the whole system together and just do my own thing because the system was not built for me. So I think for a lot of us, um, I think for a lot of the younger generation, we're finding out the hard way that a lot of stuff is just not built for us. So we kind of have to rebuild it or make stuff of our own. Um, the internet helped me learn how to draw, compose music, and 3D model and write. Yeah, no, me too. Well, except for not compose music, but for 3D modeling, writing, and art, and mostly animation. Animation and character design is for what me. Yes, existing is narcissism. Yes, no, it really is. It's truly insane. Thinking into businesses is really, yeah, no, I actually like talking about finances and like how to tackle being an artist in commissions. The problem I have, guys, is that um when I'm overly stressed, I have like no motivation to do shit. So then I don't do any commissions. I don't do anything. This and that. Not talking about you talking about business, like when people value jobs over relationships and empathy makes me very angry. Oh, that's fair. Um, I I get that. There is so much emphasis put on productivity in our society, and just not enough of people like kind of how do I say this? Like, I want to say, I wanted to say like accepting people for who they are and just like, you know, loving and caring about people, not for like, you know, their worth productivity wise, because, you know, that is um I think it's very like backwards thinking. But there's a lot to it. I think there's a lot more to it, and I also think it comes with unfortunately ableism when it comes to people thinking like, you know, with our society, we have a very ableist society in that way, that we would probably, unfortunately, like, people want to sensationalize the disabled people who make it big, but a lot of disabled people don't. Um, and it's a very harsh reality and stuff like that. That not a lot of disabled people make it big or are able to successfully live on their own. Obviously, it's amazing and great for the people who are, but at the same time, there are a lot of people who aren't. And we often tend to brush them under the rug. And that's, yeah. Um, I will say, like, one of the most interesting things is, I think my partner finds it funny how uncomfortable I am around homeless people. Sorry, this is gonna be off topic, but it's kind of on topic. Because there's a big population of people who are disabled, or I think people who are veterans, etc., who are part of the homeless population. And I really wish people would just be able to get homes, because, like, I hate that we are such anti-homelessness, like, architecture. I hate anti-homelessness architecture. I hate that we don't, like, take care of our people in America, and that we, like, aren't doing things to help our people. Um, but I also hate it when people are like, well, it's their fault for being homeless and drug addicts or this or that, when it's like, there's so many things wrong with um with our systems and stuff, and how we treat homeless people. And unfortunately, this is something that is also in other countries too, so it's not just here. It may be less of an issue in other countries. When I think of like less of an issue, I think of like China, or like I know for Asian countries, it's more encouraged that these people would they'd have still have homeless people, but it's more encouraged that these homeless people technically live with their families, instead of, you know, being on the streets or something. So it's that's kind of something that I think about, is like, when it comes to technicality, there's still homeless populations in other countries, but like I said, that there's a lot more encouragement of people staying with their families, like their parents or their grandparents or close relatives, if they're homeless. So I I'm honestly, I'm so scared. I don't want to go homeless. And my family keeps saying like, you know what? If you were homeless, you would have no choice to do like certain applications and stuff, and that you would have no choice to do this. I'm like, yes, but also, do you just want me to go homeless? Like, this real question, like, you know, this hypothetical. Do you actually want me to go homeless? Because like, if that's the reality check that I need to like get the ball rolling, so be it, you know. Um, but obviously, you know, none of my family members actually want me to go homeless or anything. Cause ooh, wouldn't that be crazy to be another statistic, to the autistic, like, disabled community who has a very high unemployment rate already, be added to that as well? Wouldn't that be crazy? Oh my god. Anyways, um, I I do way too much research for the fun of it, I guess. Um, but I know I was talking about art fine stuff, so we are going to finish up this drawing here, and then I'm going to show you the drawing I was going to do for my friend, my IRL friend. So this is almost done, and I think I'm done, but I'm gonna add like some mask lines here, because this is supposed to be like one of those surgical masks, I believe. well, yeah, this is kind of a redraw of a design that I made back a bit ago. I don't know when. So this character was also recently uploaded too. So I'm excited to see how this person reacts to to this design redraw. Be pretty cool. But yeah. So I think that's it. I think I'm done. Well, I could color in this star. Hold on. Okay, let me see if I've missed anything. My number one fawn response is pretending I'm not disabled or depressed. I hate how you get treated. Sorry, I do too much research. It's fun too. Yeah. Oh. No motivation when shit goes bad is so real. The eternal flame, the revolution. Yeah, we do need a revolution. That ass. right now. You know what I want? I want people to draw my Shayla. Okay, I want people to draw my Shayla. You should go to bed, actually. I should go to bed. But I want to finish, this. But then I'm going to show you guys what I've been planning to do for one of my friends. So, and then I'll probably stream later today, too. I'll probably stream later today. So, but I will actually be on voice call. So you guys can join voice call. I just can't do voice calls since it's like 4 in the morning now. Let me see what I'm going to... Oh, yeah, I was going to put my signature. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, yes. I'm doing much better, though, because I'm going to be making... So when it's later in the day, when I wake up later, I'm going to be calling... As long as I don't wake up past, like, noon, I will be fine. I just need to make sure that I, like, contact my therapist and also my one of my doctors. Where's my mouse? There's my mouse. I was looking for my mouse. It's kind of hard to upload stuff and save files without it. So we are doing... Oh no! Okay, I didn't want to save it as a transparent PNG. Anyways, I hope this looks good. I hope the person really likes it. I don't think I'm gonna do any other details, so I think this is it. So we're gonna go to... Oh, where's the defense? Okay, Wolf Shipper. I'm gonna go to their profile. I'm gonna go submit it, and then I guess like if I have anything else to yap about, I'll do that. But redraw. We're gonna call it redraw! Exclamation point! Full body, find revengeable intact, and then we're gonna find my R5 file on here. I'm actually really proud of this. It's pretty good. For redraw, I don't know. Let's see. So let's put fall color, clean color. We'll say it's minimal shading. Yeah, this is pretty good. Okay, so just putting a message. Okay, well, we upload this. Make sure I have all the information correct before I upload. You guys are watching me live time upload this. Also, thank you so much, Crostif2. I'm sorry if I pronounce your username wrong. And thank you, Tunish, for coming here. I come from San Francisco. That's crazy. What time is it for you, buddy? Isn't it like 4 hours behind? Or is it 3? Because it would be like 1 in the morning for you, right? Okay. Your art is so good. I love it so much. Oh my god, thank you, Jesse. Okay, I have to sleep because my body hates you. But yeah, I'm excited for you. Go to bed. Go to bed. I will be ending this stream soon because I also need to go to sleep. and this you guys don't hear it in my background right now, but I have rain ASMR and like scrub brush sounds in the background that I'm listening to. I'm like trying to force myself to like get EP. Okay, our fight is taking a minute, so it's sometimes it does this. Okay, so we got clean color, minimal shading, no background, finish, clean finish. Okay, yep, and that's it. So we're gonna submit that. And what am I going to do? What am I going to do? It's gonna do something. So we're gonna. Oh yes. So I wanted to show you guys. Oh, by the way, this is the design that I was drawing here, and this is one of my older designs. So I'm trying to think when I made this design. So let me go find the design because I kind of want to see how long this is. Holy smokes, this is back in 2020. Oh my goodness. Girl. This is like an ancient design of mine. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. I was like looking up the information on a different browser right now. Okay, so we have so you guys don't see this right now. Deltarune 5 has affected your brain. I have not played it. Do not spoil that game for me. I will play it in August later, okay guys? So somebody has some Pokemon, Pokesonas. Let's check them out. But they have to be on Artfight, in my opinion. So I'm gonna check out their Artfight real quick. I'm only gonna see what they have for their Artfight. So let's check them out here. So I'm gonna scroll here. Oh well, they have a lot of characters. I won't be able to find them, so I am going to. Okay, so I'm only gonna check. Okay, so they have a Vaporeon character. There's a lot of EVs people submitted, EV evolutions. I'm not really, unfortunately, is it? I came from San Francisco. I didn't think that was actually a line. I thought you actually came from like the actual like city, bro. You good though. You good, Tunish. But anyways, okay. So I wanted to show you guys. So this is gonna be the art fight picture that I will be drawing for the next stream, which is actually one of my friends' OCs. So this OC is from one of my IRLs. And let's see if I can find the character's reference here. So this is their reference. They talk to me all the time about their OCs. So this is their OC, and I think this is like their beloved baby OC. So I was like, I'm gonna draw them. So this is what I have concepted so far. So it's gonna be split into like a headshot kind of thing where they're looking at where he's looking at like the time thing, and then the other one where he's like interacting with the time thing. The crest of time, yes. I'm gonna call it the time thing, and that's actually what I'm gonna name and title this when I'm done. So, and also here is another sneaky peek that I'm going to be working on in my other stream when after I go to sleep, guys. I need to sleep. I haven't gotten like more than 3 hours of sleep in the past few days, so I should probably go to sleep after this. But I just want to show you guys stuff that I'm planning. And I'm kind of building a little bit of a hit list on Toy House right now. So hopefully people submit stuff and I'll want to draw it, but we'll see. Sorry, I saw something that's really cute on Twitter. I opened Twitter for a second and I was like, man, that's so cute. But anyways, yes. So this is one of my another friend OC. This is their Second Sentinel-esque character. I'm super excited to draw this one, but but yes. And then this is my IRL friends one. Let's see if I have any other art fight stuff planned other than this. Because I finished that. I finished the rebase. And let's see if I have any revenges. So these are actually both done. Both of these are done. So we're just gonna click out of that one too. We're just gonna close that. Delete that. So it should realistically just be 2 files now. So yeah, that's what I got. Yay! I'm done. We're done with this one, and we're also done with this. So we're gonna close all the files, and I guess it's kind of, I don't really have anything else to say. I'm kind of tired now, so I think I tuckered myself out. But also, I want to show you guys one of my favorite drawings. This is my new OCs. They are my Armor Rouge and Ceruledge OCs, guys. So this is my Armor Rouge OC, my Pokemon OC. This is Willow. She's my favorite right now. But she also has her sapphic situationship, which is, this is Maple over here, and this is her sapphic situationship. And they're both kind of toxic. It's more like one-sided toxic Yuri, I guess. But at the same time, it becomes positive, wholesome Yuri. Kind of. And then, let me see if I can show more of my OCs real quick, of these Pokemon OCs. So let me, like, pull up, like, this, like, sketches that I have here. So here's more of the story. So we have a character named Ginkgo, who is kind of he's kind of an antagonist character to my main girly pops here. He works for an evil corpo that deforests and pollutes our earth. The whole story is based on like protection of forests or seas, etc., etc., etc. So anyways, and also my two characters here are both adoptees, and I realized I haven't made a story about adopted characters, who, like myself, who's an adoptee, and I'm like, why haven't I done this yet? Because I'm stupid. But anyways, so we have Ginkgo. That's our antagonist character. Also, I wanted to do a drawing of them looking at like flowers and stuff, but I think I'm gonna do a drawing of them holding their respective leaves from their trees that they're named off of. Also, oh my god, they're so cute. But I'm gonna say this though. These two, they're also, like, in the canon, they're kind of in their situationship. Do they get together? Do they not? I don't know. But they're also both bisexual, bi for bi. And I do have other ships for the characters that are outside of the canon. So they get shipped with other characters that my partner and I have, and my friends and I have. So, yes. And, yeah, but I guess in my canonical story, they're kind of together, but not really. But, you know, it's kind of difficult to say. So sometimes we get Yuri, sometimes you get head slop, so I don't know. There's me as a crow yelling at Ginkgo for ruining my Yuri ship. But okay, so then here's one of my characters. This is I guess this is my Eevee Evolution OC trademark. This is Elm. He is a little, like, science experiment that gone wrong from humans experimenting, animal experimentation, and he is a live product of that, where they try to combine, like, aspects of evolved Pokemon with their pre-evolution and stuff, and he survives, but it's not pretty. And in our main characters, Willow and Maple are like, oh no, we adopted this kid now. They're our teenage son into our situationship. Yay. But also, that leads me to my other character I have. Hold on, I'm so excited. I'm like actively working on the story. And I'm always making changes live time. So live time days. And this is Pine. He's my fat fucking chud OC. I'm so excited. Anyways, So this guy is like he's kind of like my partner describes him as like an ex-convict, but he is more so like he used to work with those humans who tested on like Pokemon, and now he no longer works for them, and he's like, I now work on a field and I till the fields in my farmlands. So yeah, um, oh my god, why are you still awake, Jesse? What's wrong with me? I just looking at the stream. I need to not procrastinate on sleeping. I'm sorry. I'm also procrastinating on sleeping. I'm also talking about my OC. Yari! Okay, so your OCs are baby. Compliment something, baby. Okay, they bye. Now sleep. Your brain needs it. No, real. Okay, hold on. I'm doing quick info dump. I am speed running this info dump, guys, before I go to bed. I just need to start calling Steven Universe bisexual island, because like the creator said, bi interpretation of characters are valid, and I default to bi and pan for my characters. No, me too, me too. Elm looks so badass. Yeah, Elm is like he's canonically like a teenager, um, but he's an he was a Eevee that was like he was rocket raccooned, bro. That's what I'm gonna say. um, and then he gets adopted by the Yuri situationship is what I'm gonna call them. So yes. Anyways, so the Yuri situationship, but they have to get like documents and stuff to like free more, like because they're like, now that we have our situationship son we adopted, um we want to go and like save all the other experiments too. Also, if you're wondering why they're kind of a situationship, it's more like Maple has one-sided beef with Willow, and Willow is like kind of unaware of it, um but it's also based on their upbringings. So I have more drawings. I have more drawings of them. Look how beautiful they are. Oh my god, look how beautiful they are. Obviously, Willow's my favorite because Willow was actually based on me. Wow, who would have guessed the Chinese inspired characters based on me? Chinese adoptee. That's crazy, bro. Wild work. Quick backstory drop of Willow. Willow was found and adopted by an older lady in this like forest and stuff like that, and and she eventually like grew up and lived with this lady. She was like, I'm gonna protect this lady because this lady's so nice, and she's like her she was like her mother like figure, this like older lady. But eventually something so sad happens. The older lady, she just dies, bro. Not because of like any bad thing happens, it's just because of old age. She was just an old lady, like but anyways, so but before she dies, the old lady gifts um this little Charcadet here, Charcadet Willow, auspicious armor, and the armor actually has a lot of was made out of ceramic. So I actually don't know how like protected Willow actually is with um their like ceramic armor, but we're not gonna talk about that, guys. We're not gonna go into this. But it was made especially from their the lady herself. But I think I'm gonna change it to where it's like her family lineage, because it has to be something like a fallen hero or something, a hero who was so great. But I'm gonna say it was probably passed down from the lady given to eventually Willow, as that lady was the last of her bloodline. So sad. Anyways, so Willow then is like, I vow to protect my home that I leased, that this old lady that took me in, and also the forest that I'm in, and I will protect it. Guys, this didn't even last a month, bro. A construction team came in and bulldozed the entire fucking thing. I'm so sorry, Willow. So Willow is devastated. Willow's like, oh my god, my childhood home is destroyed. So then what Willow does is like, I'm gonna go talk to those human beings. I'm gonna pull a Steven Universe real quick. I think I could change their minds. So that's kind of where the story pops up. That's kind of where I guess the event comes in, the call to action. Um, who I'm falling to it's okay. I need to get back on my Slink web comic fanfic. I literally changed Cherry's hair last minute, but it was worth it. No, that's fair. You know what? Do what you gotta do with your characters. Okay, so that is Willow's lore. Um, I will now get into Maple's lore. Maple's lore, and then I will let you guys go. I'm so sorry. So Maple's lore. Mabel, on the other hand, is also an adoptee, but she was adopted by some rich ass family, bro. She was adopted by like this royal family, and she was kind of considered like treated like a princess and stuff like that. But what happened? Whole family massacre, bro. Massacre. So the thing is, I'm still workshopping her like lore and stuff, but originally I think it was the same. It was a forest fire. I was thinking it could have some ties with Willow's. That it was a forest fire caused by that construction team and stuff that way came in and bulldozed like Willow's home. But for Maple, on the other hand, it completely like killed everybody. So Maple survived, but like found. Unfortunately, this is when, by the way, Maple was adopted when she was a tiny sharkadette. Look how cute she is. Anyways, so when she was adopted, they. I forgot what I was gonna say. It's like 5 in the morning. Oh God, goodness gracious. Let's see. Deforestation, Terraria. I just like Terraria, Minecraft. Yeah, basically. But she finds a chapel where she finds the malicious armor. On the other hand, and this armor is just soaked in the like dread and sadness from the previous owner. But she herself has experienced this grief and loss. But so you're wondering, like, okay, so how does the situation come out of these two? So they just kind of happen to stumble upon it. It's kind of per chance. It's, in my opinion, I like stories where characters kind of, when it comes to certain characters interacting, it could be, you could say it's fate, but I also feel like with the parallels of their loss of home and family, I also like to think that there are parallels, like not just loss in family, but guys, I am losing my brain cells actively right now. That just means I need to drink more Fanta real quick. Hold on. Okay, more soda has been consumed. Okay, now that I've consumed some Fanta, I'm checking the rain ambience music in the background and how long that will last. I have about another hour. I think I'm good. But okay, back to the thing. I was going to say, like, the duality, the parallels of these two is insane. Because, like, Yuri. Yes, we love Yuri, guys. We love Yuri. I don't know what I'm trying to talk about anymore. This is probably my sign to probably end the stream soon. But I'm like, I want to show you guys, like, all my Pokemon stuff, which is really sweet, and I'm so excited. But anyways, yes. So, they do eventually cross paths because of because Maple is like, I want revenge on the humans who have killed my family, and I will kill them too. So we got like genocide Root over here, and then we have Willow, who's like pacifist Root, who's like, I'm going to change their mind. Oh my God, Willow! Actually, you won't be able to. And Maple just gets mad, even though they have the same goal of like getting like justice. They go at them at different ways, of course. And Willow obviously doesn't really want to kill anybody and thinks people's lives, I guess people in Pokemon's lives are like, worth saving. Maple, on the other hand, is like, I don't care, bro. I'm gonna kill those humans. So they kind of conflict in that way because of their ideals and stuff. But they do work together. I don't think Willow is completely against Maple because she understands that life was extremely rough for other Pokemon. And she's like, I can understand why people would want to kill another person. Or I guess Pokemon would want to kill another Pokemon. But for her, she's like, I can't bring myself to do that to somebody. And it's interesting because Willow is perfectly fine with getting absolutely clobbered herself, which is like, girl, stand up for yourself. And Maple is like that. Maple's like, girl, stand up for yourself, which I think is funny. So that's why they're kind of a situationship. Because Maple's like, I hate you because you're like an Amar Rouge, and you're not strong and beefy and like protecting yourself and like fighting people. Because I think there's like a lot of I noticed with a lot of Armor Rouge OCs and characters that they're very like outgoing, they're very strong and stuff like that, and they're very boisterous. My Armor Rouge is this little meek little creature that's like, I will sing, cry, and dance like a little jester for you not to harm the earth. And it's like, Willow, you can't be doing that. But you know what? I love this for her. She just grew up with like the most chill old lady who just wanted her to be happy, and she never wanted to fight anybody. She always want I want to do like actually before we do anything, guys, I had this idea in my head that's like so perfect. So we're gonna speed run this. We're gonna speed run this real quick. Actually, before I like forget, because I wanted to draw baby Willow in a field of flowers. So we're just gonna work on the concept sketch real quick. We're not gonna like we're gonna do like basically the thumbnail. But I'm not gonna do anything crazy. Trust, guys. Trust. Okay. So as I'm going to try my best to talk about Willow as I speedrun this drawing of her. I'm going to draw her in like a flower field as she's looking at like an unbloomed flower that hasn't bloomed yet, but she's surrounded by flowers that have. And it's kind of a representation of her character being not, I guess, a late bloomer, but the character herself is also I made Willow canonically autistic and struggles with like social cues and stuff, but still has immense empathy for others, even though she struggles with showing that she genuinely cares about others. And it's something that I feel like I struggle with. Like I care about people, but at the same time, I'm like, how do I show that care? But yeah. Anyways, here, little baby Willow. I love Willow. Willow is a little baby. Is so cute. I'm so glad she doesn't get her shit rocked. When she's an adult, bro, fair game, bro. Get your shit rocked all day. But as a little baby, you're just like, children. Just a little guy. She's a little guy. I'm sorry, guys. I'm having cuteness aggression on my own little CU right now. Girl, please sleep for more art. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm like, I have idea. We need it out now, or I forgot. But yeah. So like, I'm gonna draw like Willow. Here's little baby Willow. Willow is so cutesy patootie. I love my little baby. But anyways, but anyway, so like, yes, lesbians, guys, lesbians. And she's just in the flower fields and stuff. Yay! Look how cutesy. And it's just a flower that hasn't bloomed yet. But she's like, oh my god, look at the flower. Oh, I love Charcadets. They're actually literally so cute. Charcadets give me like such like cuteness, aggression, and like maternal like feelings towards like a little tiny creature. They're so cute. And they're so tiny, and they're so like silly. They're so silly. They're so cute. I like to think Willow was a very like quiet, like timid, and shy like Charcadet. Probably you wouldn't interact with them, or I guess like she wouldn't interact with you, like unless prompted. Actually, she would actively avoid you. Human being. Okay, actually, I kind of like this. I kind of like and these are gonna be like, ooh, Ooh, I just kind of had an idea, guys. Ooh. We're gonna look up some flowers on Pinterest as I'm thinking. So I had this idea because of the character feeling as if um they haven't they themselves they Well, that's a really cool pin. Okay, I'm getting distracted on Pinterest, guys. I can't guys, I can't. Okay, is that a chrysanthemum? Nah, bro. I don't. No. No, I'm not. God. Okay. One of my favorite flowers to draw are poppies. But we're gonna look up flower field because I need to get some inspiration for what kind of flowers I want to draw. You know, honestly, I love the symbolism of poppies, but I'm thinking I do want to just do like a normal flower field, but I'm just trying to think which one I want to do. These are beautiful pictures on Pinterest, y'all. This is insane. I swear it ought to be. It's just like me. I speedrun an idea or forget. So baby, so mean. Lou, please sleep after that. No, I will. Trust, guys. I just need to find the right flower, guys, real quick. This is like very, very important. I think in my head I had an idea of what flower I wanted to use, but now I'm just like, smokes. I think it was poppy originally, because I love poppy imagery, but I'm also thinking, this is not the exact one that I wanted. Maybe, because like I was thinking like ground flowers, maybe daisies. Maybe we'll do like daisies or something, or like a fictional flower. We'll do like a fictional flower. We'll do like fictional flower, guys. We're just gonna make some. We're gonna make some flower up. Who cares? And like they're all like blooming and stuff. Originally, I was supposed to be laying down in a field, but you know what? I think I did this wrong. I think it may look like the character is okay. So we're gonna kind of have them. I think it's because of the light placement. So like, okay, here's some flowers. Yay! So we get to see them all from above. And such. But maybe I'll just do like a collection of flowers. Yes, and then it'll be all around the character and stuff like that. So that's the idea that I had. And I don't know how big I wanted this to be. I kind of wanted it to be a little like big. So you just like you have a whole field of flowers, but it just kind of focuses in on this character that's in the middle. But that's kind of the idea that I had, and I guess I could color block it. I probably shouldn't. I know I should like sleep, but we're gonna go in real quick. We're just gonna go good. Oh, where's my coloring pen? We're just gonna go in and just kind of go like, just cause like it's good to block your colors if you're trying to figure out a scene. Actually, you know what? We're not even gonna do the character. You know why? Because you should actually look at your is that a painting or is that an actual picture? Or is that AI? I can't tell what's AI or not anymore when I look on Pinterest. I think I'm dying. Oh my god, bro. I want like real the thing. I think I'm actively dying as I'm looking at Pinterest, guys, because like I think that's AI. Ooh. The problem I think the problem I'm having right now is like, oh, this one's AI modified. Are you serious? I feel like the Freddy Fazbear like jump scare like sound effects right now. Okay, so there's like a collection of wildflowers. Maybe I'll just do yellow. I'll just do yellow flowers. We'll do a field of yellow flowers. Okay. Speedrun. So actually when you're coloring like scenes and stuff, it's actually better to avoid straight green. You can do something more of like a yellowish, kind of orangish kind of color palette, kind of like this. And it's just because green, I'm just gonna say this, guys. Green is a super overpowering color to use in scenes. So I highly don't recommend it. You can still use green, but it will overpower a scene if you, for whatever like you want to use it for. But we're gonna use yellows because I want my scene to kind of feel warm, if that makes sense. So we're gonna put some yellow flowers and shit, and we're gonna put some more. We're gonna put some piss yellow flowers in here. There's some piss yellow flowers in here. Oh yeah, we love piss yellow. I love SpongeBob SquarePants colored flowers here. So these are gonna be like pretending these are flowers here. And I think I might do like dandelions and stuff because I think they're kind of want to clump them in groups and stuff as I go. Oop, I did not mean to do that. I'm gonna like make it a little darker as they go away, as they go further in the scenes, so they kind of become more peripheral vision. For the flowers here, we're gonna do that. And then more towards the center, we'll have more of those brighter yellows and stuff, so we can focus on that character. So, and these are still flowers, by the way, but they are just like strategically placed in, I guess, like color ranging and how it would draw your eye towards a character. And another thing, since this is technically like a grassy scene, we can use, I don't, like I said, I can't do green. That's nasty. Get out. Get out! You see green? Just start running, L. Just start running. Just start running, L. We're gonna use this kind of like leaves to like encapsulate like the character a little bit. Kind of more towards the center. Because the character in the middle is like a fire Pokemon, so, but they themselves are not putting things on fire. They're what do you think, they're gonna combust the entire woods, bro? They have to live in nature in the wild. They have to live in the wild. This little Pokemon right here. I don't know what I'm talking about, y'all. I'm actually going insane. It's okay. But yeah, let's see what the one of my things that you don't have to draw every single blade. You, when it comes to like drawing like backgrounds like this, you just have to make it feel like you have to have like the lines just kind of move with the image and stuff like that. I think I am better at concepting compared to like actually doing the illustration. I'm not the biggest fan of actually making the illustration. And it's just because like I get really bored when I work on the same piece for too long. But yeah, so that's kind of my, sorry guys, you get art advice as I work on a piece that I need to sketch down, that I need to like have like planned and stuff. I probably won't like actually finalize this or anything. I'm probably just gonna like do cleanup and stuff when I have a chance and draw my character. But I like to figure out what I want to do for like the colors and such. Just cause it's a good thing. It's something that you should like do if you want to like work on like more scenery and stuff for comics, etc. For your characters. It's just kind of thumbnail it and stuff. I would probably do a few more thumbnails if I wasn't like dead set on the idea that I have here. So like I already had this idea in my head since like earlier or something like that. When I forgot. I feel like that one character is like, I forgot. I forgot. And another thing I think I could add is kind of like, we're gonna use like a gray. That's too gray. We're gonna use like a I'm gonna use yellowish. I'm gonna stick on. Can use like a tree that's up here, and like kind of, we pretend that's like tree and leaves and stuff if we want to, like, because the tree is from above. We would only see the tree from above. Yay! So there's like some leaves. some stuff here. So we're gonna, just because I like to give my picture a little bit of more depth. So we're gonna do that. It kind of looks like a monster, but trust, these are trees. These are our trees just from above. We're just seeing trees from above. So, and if I really want, we are now going to, guys. Oh, okay. I was scared. I was like, did the video that was like 3-4 hours, like poop green? Yeah, piss yellow flowers. Oh my god, Gen AI makes me feel like I'm gonna have a second and third stroke. Yeah. Sorry guys. Color theory is insane. Am I right, guys? Am I right? Oh my god. Okay. Let me find my Willow reference, because I am not gonna be using the full color palette for my OC. My OC is actually this like red. So we're gonna use this. And they're kind of like a really more cool white, but for this illustration, I would want to use more of a cream white, because the coloring already is a very like warm green and yellow. And this is how you like, I think a lot of people get tripped up when they work with greens and yellows. And this isn't even a green, guys. This is actually a yellow for the background. But it's because green is so overpowering, you kind of need that contrast right here. Also, this kind of hurting my eyes, so I'm sorry, Willow, you're kind of hurting my fucking eyes, you stupid little fuck. So we're gonna use an orange. Actually, no, never mind. We're going back to the red, but we're gonna do like more of a deeper red, if that makes sense. And same for that orange that is on my character. So we're gonna do like we're gonna be working with like color palette. And because this character has kind of a blue, I'm gonna go with like I'm gonna go kind of more with like this like I was thinking I could go more, actually I think we could go more purple. Just kind of giving me chromatic aberration. We're not doing that. My bad. Sorry guys, I lied. We're going back. Okay, that one actually gives me more chromatic aberration. Yay! I could just get, fuck it. The blue is gone, guys. Blue is gone. No more blue. There are, okay, so actually, a tip for you guys. If you want kind of a blue with your greens and yellows, you can use a gray. I know that sounds weird, but if you use oranges and yellows, I know the like color theory behind it that makes it look kind of blue, but it's like, I think I'm messing this up, guys. I don't know what I'm talking about. I actually certified non-artist anymore, guys. I actually unwent to school. I actually like unlearned everything from art school. What do you mean I went to Lou, did you go to art school? I don't know, man. Let's be real, I don't know. Cause like, what am I talking about? I think I'm just really tired. But I'm trying to explain my color theory as I work, so you guys know my process when I'm like working. So I want you guys to know this is actually the typical color that I use for the fur, but we're not using that. We're going to be using more of a cream color, but we're going to go more towards kind of an orangish cream. So we're going to be more like that, as it will be a lot less intensive on people's eyes, because it is still contrasting on the character, but it's also going to be a lot more easy for people to look at compared to the other color. And it looks a lot better in the sliding here. Yay, guys, look how cool color theory is. Oh my god, I love doing this. I actually really love playing with color when it comes to my OC and doing illustrations. I think a lot of people think I don't like doing that. It's probably because like they think I probably overly rely on color picker and stuff. But honestly, guys, I'm just a lazy bum. I just want to draw my OCs instantly and now have the instant gratification of having drawings of my silly OCs. Okay? Understand, there's a difference. If I really want to, I can work hard to do something that I want. Okay. So now, but the eye color on the other hand, I think we're gonna use a pink instead. We're gonna use that pink color instead. And then now we're gonna shift it towards that blue. You know what? Maybe I'll just use the blue, bro. I don't know why I'm like trying to avoid the blue. Guys, sometimes you just say take the fucking L, bro. Take the fucking L and just draw with the fucking color that your character has. Sometimes you just can't make it work. And that's one of those cases. I can't make this shit work. So, but we are going to change the blue a little bit though, so it's a little bit easier on the eyes for the drawing. Take the L, just use the blue, bro. I'm trying to be like, ooh, cool color theory, bro. Actually, dude, I think I'm just shit. So, you know what? Whatever, bro. Whatever. I just like, we're gonna fucking do this. That is too bright. That is too bright. We have to take that down a notch. Okay, perfecto. Perfect shit. Perfect fucking shit right there. Perfect shit right there. And then for the bud, we're actually gonna make it white. We're actually gonna make it like white. Yes. And then we're gonna do piss yellow again, guys. We're gonna do piss yellow. Oh my god, look at that. Look at the yellow. Yes. Okay, and then we're also gonna add yellow to the flames. Okay, guys, I don't actually know what I'm talking about anymore. I think I'm really shit at color theory. Actually, you guys should not be taking any of my advice, guys. Even though I went to art school for like, how long? 4 years? 4 years? Yeah. I don't know anything that I'm fucking talking about apparently, cause I'm stupid, guys. I'm silly. I'm so silly. And also, apparently, there's flames on the character's back, and I forgot about that, so we're gonna be adding that here. Because I forgot. My own character detail. Yay. And then, something cuter, we're gonna be adding, like, little, like... Okay, bro. I don't know, man. This is supposed to be a regular flower. I don't know what I'm trying to do. Add that yellow. We're gonna make, we're just making a yellow flower. It's just gonna be a yellow flower. And we're just gonna use like orange to like do the blossom part. It's not, it hasn't bloomed yet, so yeah. Okay, here you go. There's my planning for the drawing, and yeah, and we're gonna like, oh yeah, so yep. And imagine this like filled with like shitty fucking drawn flowers and some shit. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, that's the idea that I have, by the way, guys. Probably I was able to like explain that well. Probably not, because we're all delirious. We're all tired and eepy, and it's almost like it's 5:30. What the hell? Okay, more Fanta. And I guess I'm gonna say this. When you're drawing something like character focus, you want your eyes to be drawn towards that character. That is too bright. We're gonna use a darker color. You want to use stuff that will draw your eye towards that character here. In this piece, I frame things in a circle. Guys, who would have guessed doing things in a circle and framing things right in the middle will make you draw your eyes towards the middle character? I think the thing that I'm struggling with is figuring out what I want to do for this flower. But that's a later main problem. And I will probably tell you guys later of like what I'll figure out for what I'll do for the flower. so you can draw their eyes towards that. I was thinking I might make it blue, because out of all the flowers of yellow, you could have a blue flower. Okay, so now with pairing blue and yellow, these are opposite ends on the color spectrum. And I'm gonna say this, don't shade with, oh fuck guys. Okay, I'm not saying like you shouldn't shade with like yellow or blue, or highlight with yellow and blue. Like if you have a color that's like the opposite, instead I typically like, I'm gonna say this. Okay, so let's say with the blue, I personally would either shift it, like depending on if you want a cooler or warmer, shifting it based on like the warmer aspect. I would instead, for blue, I would actually shade with purple, or even better, pink. But if you want a cooler tone, you shade with like darker green. You shade with green or some shit. I don't know. Or you could just keep it in blue range. But if you shade with yellow, your blue can get like muddy. It's hard to kind of explain. If you do like a blue and orange, that's a little better. But like what I mean by shading, I mean like if I were to take this down, like I believe we're gonna take the opacity down. When you shade with yellow and like with the opposite ends, sometimes they can get muddy. And if you want those vibrant colors, shade with kind of complementary colors instead. So like this is what more of a like a pink kind of would look on the blue, which, or like let's say like a purple. Let's go with purple, because purple's right next to it. Like it's gonna look a lot more vibrant. Or even how like the green gives it like a interesting undertone and stuff like that. But like but going like straight yellow is just gonna make it look muddy. But I just wanted to, or like flat. But you can still do like desaturated hues and stuff, and shade with that. You would just kind of have to stay within like the blues color range or something like that, I think. But anyways, random side tangent. I don't know why I wanted to pop off about that. Anyways, I'm gonna save this. Oh my god, I'm gonna save this. Oh my god, concept art. I'm actually so excited. This is beautiful. I love this piece right now. Like I didn't even finish it, but I'm super stoked about drawing it later. So yeah, Utterly said piss yellow. I love instant gratification of drawing. Using gray is real. Hold on. I love gray. I love using gray and making it look like it's blue. It's one of my favorite tricks in the book, but I can't do it for this one here. So, because my character's blue is a very specific blue. Anyways, makes me think of how toned down Lapis and Paradox colors are, as they didn't fit my art style. Oh yeah, no, it's kind of like when it comes to art styles and stuff, like, I'm thinking of like we're actually, you know what, guys, we're going on a field trip. I'm gonna go to my Pixiv account to look at my Steven Universe archive art, because I archive all my fan art onto Pixiv. So I do them all in like big giant art dumps and logs and shit. So it's called like logarithm, or like logs, etc. But like I think I actually, so here's my picture of Lapis and Peridot from, I believe this is 2023. Oh yeah, so this is 2023 when I drew these pictures. I think I actually used the actual character colors, but when it comes to coloring, I think I used different colors for their blush than what the show has. And you can kind of see it here, because this is kind of how like I shade color wise. For Peridot, I went more of a cooler color. For Lapis, it looks like I went more the kind of similar range. I'm like looking at my art program. You guys don't see it. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna show you guys on my color block so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. So we're gonna use like, I'm gonna show you guys kind of how I color. We're gonna make this like bigger so you guys can the big cooler. So I'm gonna kind of show you guys what I mean by like how I color through example of where you see this tiny dot on here. This is how I'm gonna show you guys how I color, because like I think it's like really interesting. So this is like 2023 me coloring. So this is the lapis blue, and this is my blush color. So like as you can see on the scale, I use a scale to do it. If I'm on Photoshop, I use like a slider scale. If I'm on if I'm on Clip Studio, unfortunately, I have the color wheel and it drives me insane. I hate that shit. I need my square. I can't. Well, I have a triangle. I'm trying to switch it over to square because I have a lot more control. Because you can go from like more saturated to like desaturated and stuff like that. This is like desaturated. This is like if you're kind of wanting your art to kind of be more like more chilled. This is if you want more vibrant colors and stuff over here. And so like you got the whole like hue grid here, which is something that I had to physically learn how. I had to manually learn how to mix paints to get this whole grid when I was in college. So I have a lot more control of like my color space. And then like let's say we're gonna look at like we're gonna go back to my illustration here. So like as you can see here, like that's like my base color like is technically this right here, this like off yellow. So it's actually in the yellow field here. You'll see it's like right here, right in the smack middle of yellow actually. So like if I went up here, like you would actually get to see like hold on, bro, where did I put my layers? Okay, you guys don't see my layers on here, but okay, well, let me see. I don't know where my brush is. Okay, there it is. So that's like this, guys. This is like peak yellow right here. But I used a yellow that's like more kind of like in the middle-ish area here that you can tell. And then now let's say I wanted the shading. So now if you look at where I go, I actually go more towards an orange, a more orangey yellow. So like we're gonna go in the saturation to kind of show you what that looks like, compared to like the other yellow where it's like it's very bright. We're actually just gonna I'm just gonna show you guys peak saturation of like the stuff of like what I like to do, so you can see how the difference is here. But it's just like on a different scale here. So like this one. Okay, so this is kind of how my thought process is. Like I pick my base color, and then so when I shade, I will go either up the scale or down the scale. If I go up the scale, that's probably meaning I want more of a cooler tone. Like I said, if I go down the scale, I want more of a warmer tone. I often prefer warmer tones personally over cooler tones. And when I choose my base color, I slide my slider down either so let's say for highlights, you could either go kind of more up, either horizontal wait, what is it, diagonally, to my left or to my right, depending on like desaturation or saturation. And if I'm wanting like more of a shaded color, I will go diagonally further down to like get that kind of like darker color. So for most of my shading, most of the time I go down like kind of like in a diagonal way downwards like this. It's very rare when I go this way, but it does have a different effect if I'm looking for more of like a kind of a darker, not darker hue, but I'm trying my best to like explain it. Like if I pull up the guys, we're pulling up the. So the hue, brightness, and saturation. Thank you, brother. Thank you for explaining this for me. Okay, for hue, saturation, brightness, that's kind of I'm trying to think of my right words for this. But yeah, that's kind of how I choose where my colors go. And it's it's all kind of based on like actual like painting techniques I was taught in my class. Even though I hated the painting class, we're not gonna talk about that. The painting class sucked balls, guys. I hated it so much, but it taught me a lot. Actually, it taught me a lot. Big square. Your things make me yappy and well over cool stuff. Happy, not yappy. No, you're good. You're good. I know we're both trying to go to sleep. I'm sorry. I'm such a yapster about art. Y'all got me talking about my number one special interest since childhood right here, which is art. And I love color theory. My color theory is probably not as good as like other like professional artists' color theory, but this is like the best I can like give for how I approach like my art. And like I kind of do like when it comes to like blush of characters, I kind of have the same rules applied to that, like especially with like non-human characters. But when you do like human characters and stuff, I have like a whole different philosophy, which is kind of more based on like so like non-human characters, I kind of use the same thing. Am I going for a cooler or warmer tone? So Lapis's base color is this right here, which is a very saturated color. But like if I were to choose the blush, I would probably go slightly diagonally, but I would also go more towards the cooler tone for Lapis to get more of that effect. However, you know, if I really want to be crazy, I'd actually go with you could. I think for her actual blush, it's actually a purple. So I think you would actually go more towards like the really cooler area, and then go more, instead of more saturated, you actually go more desaturated. And I think that's interesting, and also in brightness as well. So, because it would stand out too much. But for me, when I like to shade for my characters, I go that way. Now, because I didn't do highlights for this, I'm gonna show you how I would naturally go about doing highlights. So I would personally actually go more towards like I would actually go more towards like the lighter blues and stuff, I think, for Lapis, just depending on how I would go about like coloring and stuff like that. But I think I would kind of go more towards those like aquas and stuff. Like really bright highlights would kind of look like that. For if I were to like shade this today. I think for the hair, yeah, I think I would go. Oh, nope, I didn't want to do that. I think I would do that too. I think I would kind of shade the same way. Maybe not go as saturated as that. I'd probably go a little bit less, just cause like I think my coloring nowadays is kind of more chilled out than what I used to. Um, but yeah, and I mean, I still think I still would have the same coloring principles, even though this piece is like from 2023. I still kind of have the same coloring principles. You can kind of see this here with my green. This is actually one of the few times I actually use green, but you can use green as like accents. I wouldn't recommend using it as like a whole base point if you're like doing illustrations, because it just, green overpowers like a lot in pieces. And I'm only saying this as I've made pieces. I love green, guys. Like green, like hold on. Where my Fooning piece? Like you can use green, but if you want people to like draw their attention to things, you really have to try hard with this. So like this is a scene where I really want Fooning to be. I still have a little bit of a hard time, and I still think with this piece, we're most likely going to be looking more towards like, yeah, you're going to be looking more towards this damn house over here, which is fine, which I would prefer people to look over here at the house, because Fooning is here, so it draws your, because this is the most visually distinct thing color wise. So hold on, we're gonna pull out the whole color grid right now. We're gonna pull out the whole we're gonna pull out the whole gradient map here to kind of show you what it would look like. Oh, no, I don't want that. No! No! Okay, where is it? Okay, so this is kind of like, sometimes I like gradient maps using it so you can kind of see like how things will look, like where people's eyes will draw to, because obviously in this drawing here, your eyes are gonna draw towards this right here. In my opinion, like this little dark spot. And sometimes I guess it's kind of good to just kind of like change your colors just to see like, or just make your piece like really just like just say, yeah, all the saturation gone, we're just taking rid of the color, because like now you can see like I do a little bit lighter because like I have a hard time with like really dark stuff, but yeah, you can definitely see like your eye is just gonna draw over here just because it's darker compared to like the more lighter stuff. But I don't know, maybe your sight is different. Anyways, I'm going to bed because I started talking nonsense here. Actually, you can do good with green. It's just hard. That's all I'm saying. Is like when you use green, it's just hard to use, unfortunately. Um, sorry. There's a whole video on YouTube actually that talks about the usage of green. I love green, but also green is evil, bro. Green is so evil. Um, I I don't know, man. And it's like it's almost everywhere in life, I'd say. But I think for illustrations, it's best to kind of go, instead of going like straight green, you should go more of a yellowish green if you want a warmer tone, or go more of a bluish, like kind of aqua green if you're like trying to go more for like cooler tropical kind of thing. I think in this drawing, this is an example where I have blues, and I think the green, you can see where I'm more in the yellowish range here, where I'm like, you can see where my color picker is and where my stuff is and how I color that. And also just do studies, guys. Just fucking do studies. Okay, this is where you'll never see me ever go straight in this area for green. You'll actually only see me staying over here or over here for my pieces. Like, and this one is just also warm tones because it's like a illustration like that. Trying to see if I have any other pieces that have like green. Oh, okay. I think this is the exception. If you do a whole piece that is full of green and then you have one thing in the piece that is not, that's actually a good example of how to use, like, you can do whatever green you want, but as long as you have a centerpiece that is not green, you can do it right. I think I'm not trying to like flex and be like, yo, my green better than your green, but you know what, I'ma say it. Also because Froggy is green, so I don't know. I think I should go to bed, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm like actively losing it. I'm trying to find a piece where I have like a non-green like that, like where it's like more of a like aqua green, and I can't find that. I need to do. You know what? I gotta make a drawing that's like that. I need to make a aqua green drawing. Because apparently I don't do enough. I don't do it enough. Hold on. I think of this concept. Yes. Okay. So this is a Jurassic piece that I had. This is that I do actually use the aqua greens, and you can kind of see it here with this leaf that's kind of more towards the end. We do see a little bit more like, but it we use more as accents that kind of lead your eye within the drawing. But yeah, so there's a lot more aqua in here. The characters themselves are aqua, but like I'm color picking the leaves exclusively. But you can kind of see we have like the baby dinosaur, baby Chuli dinosaur, and then Jungbei in the background. That's her mother, the big dinosaur, and you get to see her interacting with like a little microraptor. I'm so upset I never finished this. I should finish this someday. But anyways, now you got to see how I use my colors, guys. And I should go to bed. And also, my arm fell asleep. It's tingling. I feel like pins and needles right now. I feel like it's pins and needles. I will probably stream later again today, where I'm going to be doing art-fi stuff. Trust, I will be doing that. And I'm really happy to show you guys like my process of how I do things. I absolutely love talking about art and how I do things and stuff like that. So, no. Yes. No. You're not saving that because I don't want to fuck up my file. But anyways, yes. There's concept art, and I will now end stream. So thank you guys for joining me. Your arm is the only one asleep, bro. No, actually though, my arm is asleep. Oh, you're on Team Comedy? Hi, job application. I can't believe you had me say the word job on this stream. To be fair, I actually have a job. Yeah. I hate painting. Beautiful art. Sorry, did not read any. Okay. Your green is awesome. We need sleep. Yeah, cute dino. Yeah, sleep. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go sleep, guys. It's almost 6 in the morning, and I've been awake since 3 in the morning, so I should probably go take a nappies, go sleepies. I feel like I'm gonna shit myself actually, so maybe I'll go shit instead of shitting myself, and then I'll go pass out. So you know what? Have a good night or good morning, and